Hi guys, welcome to Tamra's Tarot Variety. Today is Wednesday, November 17th, 2021. It is very intense energy right now. As I'm filming, we're probably going to hear sirens. I've been hearing sirens all night. I'm in New York. A lot is going on in New York, but that's not what this video is about. So before I get started, today is Wednesday, November 17th. I'm just looking at notes, and we are headed towards a full beaver moon, reaching its peak November 19th. So in 2 days, today's Wednesday, so it should reach its peak on Friday. It's going to be a big one, guys. It's a full moon and lunar eclipse in Taurus. So this is going to amplify any feelings that have been dormant, and it could be very dramatic. And there could be some very dramatic endings, so just beware. I just want to apologize to everyone for not finishing my tarot readings for each sign. I was advised by Spirit to not do those anymore. So what Spirit told me is that most of my subscribers are on the spiritual path, and a lot of what I've been saying over the last few months, pretty much over the last year that I've been making videos for each sun sign, Spirit told me that a lot of the messages are repeating, because this is just, he said, they said some are different, but the overall messages, the timeline, the vibe, it's been similar. And if you guys are interested, my tarot readings, for the most part, have been about personal development and where everyone who is on the spiritual journey, who is watching me, it's a generalized read, but pretty much like where everyone is at. And hopefully they've been helpful. From this point on, Spirit is asking me to do more mediumship. So if you're into that, please stay with me. And if not, I'm sorry. I may come back in the future and do tarot readings for each sign. We'll see. I mean, I love tarot, so I still need to sort of set up an area too for that. But anyway, this video is impromptu. I've been very busy, you guys. I have a lot going on. I was not planning on making a video, but Spirit really wants me to talk about the Kyle Rittenhouse trial. Now, just to let you all know, I heard about this event over the summer. As many of you know, we've had, sorry. We've had so many things going on. I had to look at Wikipedia tonight to see actually the details of that trial. Spirit came to me, told me like a deeper analysis of what's going on, but then I wanted to just look and see for myself because I haven't been up to date on that trial. So Kyle Rittenhouse, I don't want to, I have to watch my words. He took out 2 men in Kenosha during the period of riots there, August 25th, 2020. So these 2 men were Joseph Rosenbaum and Anthony Huber. So everyone is here. Everyone's been giving me messages. And along with them, George Floyd came in. My spirit guides, my spiritual team is here. So just right off the bat, they told me, and forgive me if I'm not making like direct eye contact. My energy is with them and I'm thinking. So I hope I don't look shifty, shifty-eyed. But so right off the bat, Spirit told me that the probability of the result of the trial it's probably going to be tomorrow. So it's still the evening of the 17th. So they're saying probably the 18th. And I'm learning to live with probabilities. When I first started connecting with Spirit, they tried really, really hard to prove themselves to me and just really tried to give me absolutes. But now we're working in more probabilities because really, guys, we have free will, and Spirit can tell me like this is probably going to happen. These are the intentions. Sorry for the camera. These are the intentions of, they can tell me what the intentions of people are and how it will probably come out. So anything can happen. We were given free will, which is what makes life interesting and also makes life hard. So they're showing me the current timeline as of right now is that they should make a decision by tomorrow. And Spirit is saying the decision will be at this point in the deliberations, it's in Kyle Rittenhouse's favor. Like I said, it could change. And I will do more videos about that, about the galactic influences that we have over us and what that means and how that plays out. And I think that will be very helpful for you guys in sort of knowing. I know many of you are very intuitive and you get messages, but this information I think will help you guys figure out how to tune into those messages. A lot of you already know, but I think what Spirit has been telling me will be very helpful for everyone. I'm going to talk more about spiritual influences and planetary influences and how it affects our decision making and how we can use it to our advantage. And when I say our advantage, I'm talking about our advantage as people on the spiritual path, meaning we try to do what is best for ourselves and others as best we can, not meaning that we're perfect. Okay, so the timeline right now is tomorrow. Kyle Rittenhouse, Spirit is saying most likely he will be proven innocent. And so let's talk about this case, guys. So we have Joseph Rosenbaum and Anthony Huber here. And so right off the bat, Spirit, and we have George Floyd here too, and my spiritual team, like I said. And they are all saying that everyone involved in this case and the George Floyd case, everyone is guilty and innocent at the same time, if that makes sense. Now, I know that probably sounds lame and flowery and hippy-dippy, but there's a reason behind this. So let's start with these two men, Joseph Rosenbaum and Anthony Huber. Their intentions were good. Their intentions for rioting were good, but both of them are saying that they were out of control. It was out of control, and it pretty much spiraled, and they are not standing behind their decision to be so out of control. Now, that being said, they are saying that Kyle Rittenhouse is not completely innocent. His intentions were good. His intentions were to protect. Sorry, a message just came in. Were to protect, to help protect like his town, the police, the car dealership. He felt that that the town needed his help, and in a way, he's right. And the police did need his help. So. So Kyle, they're saying Kyle, and please forgive me for closing my eyes. I'm listening to them. They're saying that Kyle Rittenhouse did not shoot. I hope that I don't get flagged. He did not do what he did in self-defense per se, but he was defending what he believed to be true. So he wasn't just like standing there and his life was in jeopardy. He was aggressive. These two men were aggressive, but he was threatened, and it was like a war zone, and this is what happened. All of these young men, well, all three of these young men, believed that they were doing the right thing. So, if Kyle is found innocent, in a way he is, but he's also not. But these two these two men don't want to see him go to prison. They do want to send the message of, it is good to stand up for your beliefs. So all three of them did that, and all three of them are guilty of overdoing it. But they felt that they were doing the right thing. It just spiraled out of control. Now, George Floyd came in saying he feels the same way, and he feels the same way about himself and about Derek Chauvin. Now, George Floyd told me that he knew, like he knew, what's his name? Sorry, let me think for a second. So he knew Derek Chauvin. They worked together, as many of you know, but they were rivals. They were both alpha males. And they were similar but different, and they have different backgrounds. Obviously, Derek is a police officer, and George was not. He was a security guard, but they were similar. They were very competitive, alpha males, and at one point they had competed for a woman, even though Derek was married. So they had that behind them. George Floyd had some issues with the law. He had issues with drugs. But he really was trying to put his life together, but he was, he fell off the wagon, so to speak. But, yeah, he's talking to me. So he was not innocent. He didn't deserve to die, but he was not innocent. Now he's saying his death was a combination of, being in poor shape, he's saying, not exactly poor health, poor shape. He had been on a bender. He was recovering. Let's make up a new word, recovering from COVID. I'm recovering. Okay, sorry. I don't mean to be silly. I know this is a serious topic, guys, but just to let you know, when spirit comes through, they're really silly because they don't see things as seriously. I mean, they do, but it's hard to explain. They always make jokes though. So they're laughing right now at recovering. And they're silly like me. Like, they think a lot of really dumb things are funny. But anyway, so he was recovering from COVID, and he really wants to talk about, now this is all coming together because in my last video, when I was talking to Jesus, and some previous videos, they're talking about the substance H. But Jesus also and Mr. Floyd, they really want to talk about, and I'm sorry if we're all over the place. Spirit is very ADHD, and so am I, because everything is patterned, and they're trying to make these points because they see everything They see everything. Sorry for the. They see everything relating, and there's a purpose that they come, and there's a purpose that they're talking to me. So, okay, George Floyd really wants to use this moment to talk about this substance that starts with an F, and it is found cut into substance that starts with H. Now, both of these are incredibly toxic, incredibly powerful substances, and they both mess you up in different ways. So the H actually connects people to spirit. The F makes people into like zombies. So he was in a zombified state when he was pulled over. Now, this is not excusing Derek Chauvin. So please don't. I'm not being political, guys. Spirit's not being political. And please understand, when people pass, they become like advocates for spirit and advocates for truth and justice. And they take responsibility for things, and they see the truth of situations, like people's intentions. And actually, Spirit has told me that people's intentions mean more than what has actually happened. So, George Floyd is telling me that Derek Chauvin was innocent and guilty, that Derek Chauvin was a very frustrated cop in the moment. He was overly aggressive, but also George resisted arrest, and George was having an anxiety attack, but also many people cry wolf when they're being arrested and say, I have anxiety, I can't get in the back of a car, I can't breathe. And so it's like a dance between, like the criminal and the cop, and that's what happened. But he is saying that Derek did not intend to end his life, that was not the intention of Derek. Derek was aggravated. It was hot. Derek is going through issues in his life. Derek was not the best husband. His wife was not the best wife. George is saying he was not the best dude on the planet. He was going through issues. George said he had a lot of issues with women. And he took me back to his sports days and showed me this time that like I was fresh out of college, and I had met this guy, and he asked me to come over, and like I met this guy out, and he asked me to come over his house, and I just assumed like, okay, I'm going over and we're gonna, I'll chat and then go out and do something. I was young, I didn't think anything of it. So I went over there, and the guy like immediately like took his clothes off, and I left, and I was grossed out. It smelled like a gym locker room in his apartment, and I was like out of college and working, and so he brought me to that and said that he was like that. Like he was tall and handsome, egotistical, and he was troubled and he struggled. And he also had great moments in his life, and he liked being a security. Oh, okay. So let me get back to that. Sorry, this is how Spirit and I just talk. It's like do 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 do, and we ramble. So he took me back to that moment to show me that he was no saint, and he did have a past, but he was on the spiritual path, and he was trying to turn his life around, but he also was still in that mindset of playing the victim and also being a victim, because like once you get into that groove, it is really hard to escape. He had lost his jobs, and he was partying, but he wasn't going like really super hardcore, but he was older and the substances were affecting him. But he was going to pull out of this funk, but he was in a funk and he wasn't in a good place when this happened. So he was very frustrated. He was very embarrassed. And there was this rivalry between him and Derek. So on the one hand, he did resist arrest, but on the other hand, he was embarrassed. And it was really tough on his ego. And then he did have a panic attack, and that embarrassed him further, which made the he's giving me the feeling, guys, and it's making me very anxious. Ooh boy, my heart is racing. I have anxiety myself. So he's showing me exactly how he felt. And it was a bad moment. But he's very upset at the outcome of what happened over the summer. He's saying especially after the virus, and just how many people exaggerated what happened instead of using it for good. He said some good has come out of this, but a lot of drama has come out of this, and it is hurting his own community, and he doesn't like that. And he would like you guys to watch my videos, like the Whitney Houston video, Tupac. He was a rapper, so now Tupac and Biggie are here. Whitney's here. So guys, they really want to help the African American community and people of color in this country. And they're all upset that certain factions have taken the cause of equality and peace, and used it for further destruction, violence, racism. Okay, so let's go back to, so George Floyd was not racist. He's saying Derek Chauvin actually, he's saying is racist, and a lot of it has to do with his job and repetition. And the struggle there between cops and, people committing crimes because of substances. And so it becomes like a broken record. But he's saying Derek was racist, but also Derek was a good cop. Derek tried to be a good husband. He struggled at that, but also they're saying that his wife was not a peach herself. George was not perfect, and George was not racist. But George did break the law when he needed to, and George also obeyed the law a lot. And George also, like I said, was on the spiritual path. He really found God, found Jesus, and was working with the community. But he was going through a hard time. And like I said, he fell off the wagon. And where he lives and the people he knew, when you fall off the wagon in that environment, you know, that's pretty much, he's saying like, that's the road you take. You know, some people fall off the wagon and they're in a certain environment, and these are no excuses, but they fall off the wagon and it means like, you know, eating an extra piece of cake or, you know, not going to the gym or something like that. He's not making excuses. He's just saying that was his environment. But why are they here? And why are they giving me messages? Well, really, they want to try to give me the best messages so that you all believe in me and believe in them. But really, they want you to believe in them because they want to change the outcome. They want more positivity. They want more peace. So my spiritual team and the people that I'm channeling are all working for the same goal. So they're hoping that you listen to these messages, believe in me, believe in them, and strive to see all sides of certain situations. Sometimes, you know, call a spade, like they don't want you to think that, you know, that they and I believe in like, oh, there's always two sides to every story and truth is somewhere in the middle. Now, in this case, it is, but not in every case. But let me see what else I put in my notes. I know, I'm pretty sure I'm forgetting stuff, but pretty much to sum it up, Whitney, Tupac, and Biggie, my spiritual guides are saying none of us were perfect. None of us, but okay. Oh yeah, there is one more thing. So Derek Chauvin is probably going to have a retrial, and he's probably, because of the events and the drama on all sides, they're going to give him a retrial, if that makes sense. Each group is taking what's happening and using it to their benefit. Now, like I said, many good things are coming out of George's passing. And things did need to change with certain people. But also the other side is, some people on the other side are taking these events and using it to their advantage, not helping their community like they said they would, making things worse. Some are using it for good, but because of all of this, it's gotten meshy. they're joking. It's gotten meshy, guys, and Derek may have a retrial. And like Spirit is saying, he is guilty. He's also innocent in the fact that he didn't intend to take out Mr. Floyd, but he did, so he's guilty and he's innocent, but his sentence may be lightened, but expect trouble at that time. They're saying expect some trouble after this verdict, but I don't know if you are for or against Kyle. I know myself, I didn't know much about this until tonight. I think most of us haven't been aware of every single news story because this crisis has affected us all. And, I know me with my ADHD, I go down certain rabbit holes, but I didn't go down this rabbit hole. I know when I saw Mr. Floyd suffering, I felt an incredible amount of pain. I cried. And then I saw the outcry, and then I knew that the police were arrested, and I knew that Derek was tried, but that's as far as I knew. So, they're updating me tonight, and they did have me look at, look quickly at what happened so I could report it to you guys. That's what I feel like. Yeah, like a reporter. I feel like part reporter and part advocate for people who have passed. So I think that's it for now. That's all I can remember. And yeah, that's all they're saying. And George is saying he wishes that he wouldn't have been like that with women. That he's saying that and he wishes he didn't do substances because he had a lot of life in him, and he loved spirituality. He loved working with youth, and that he should have been a coach and a mentor, and he should have been happily married, but he just developed some bad habits, which many of us do. And he's saying a lot of us, our dating habits stem back from like high school, college, and how we were back then, and what sort of like what our pattern was. And his pattern, he was the star athlete, and women just fell at his feet, and that coupled with some trauma that he had, it just created, he said, a bit of superficiality, and he actually said he was a bit of a predator, and he feels very bad about that now. He didn't realize he was. He's saying that he just, that's what he knew, and that's what worked for him, and he didn't realize that he could have had it better. He could have been happily married, because we all have different timelines, guys. We have free will, and they showed him when he passed a timeline of him like sticking with the sports, and then going from that to being a coach, a mentor, happily married, and being like in the church. He had a big aura, a big presence about him, and he could have been much more of a leader, and he was a leader. But so he and all of them are nodding. They're all in agreement that when someone's like a natural born leader like that, you know, you get into these leadership dynamics, like when he was a security guard at that bar with Derek, like both of them were leaders. And on a positive note, they were both passionate, but, you know, their demons, so to speak, got the best of them. Demons being substances, power, competition over women, competition over the law. Like, you know, they were on, at different points, different sides of the law. And you can see at the end, they were both a bit on the wrong and the right side. And please, by no means is Spirit or anyone condoning what Derek did, but they're explaining it more in a spiritual way of what happened. The whole thing is just making me so sad, because they're giving me the feeling of the intentions of everyone, of Derek being like hot and frustrated and mad at George, and George having a full out guys, I'm sorry. George having a full out anxiety attack, and just freaking out that he's being arrested at his age. And he said he was really trying to keep it together in his life. Like, he had been doing really, really well. And then, you know, the pandemic happened, and sorry guys. Now I'm just repeating myself, but these are the messages that I wanted to get across. And if this doesn't happen, Spirit is just saying, don't be so hard on me. That this is the timeline right now. This is what the intentions of everyone, the intentions of what's going on right now, that to the best of their knowledge. And we'll see what happens. I'm not using tarot. I'm just talking to Spirit. So let's see what happens. But as of now, they're saying Kyle will be found innocent, and he's not fully innocent, but he's also not, they don't want to see him imprisoned. And these are the two young men who passed. So that's it for now. And I will come on soon. Thank you for tuning in. All right. Stay safe, guys. Try to stay calm during this full moon and eclipse in Taurus. All right. Bye, guys.